The worst fears from today's firefighters' strike have come true, with a Sydney home left to burn. The owner is disgusted that it took 45 minutes for a volunteer crew to arrive. The Rural Fire Service was left to cover the city while metropolitan firefighters descended on state parliament over cuts to workers' compensation.
By the time firefighters arrived, Kim Lutfi's home at Ramsgate was engulfed by flames. His wife and young grandson managed to escape, but there are fears someone could have died because of the slow response time.
If anything happened, I blame the fire brigade.
Firefighters heading to the city strike diverted to the blaze. The owner was furious with how long it took for firefighters to arrive.
It's 45 minutes and it could take longer, and then my wife and my grandson will be gone by then for a bloody stupid strike.
The firefighters searched the buildings and checked that no residents had been hurt.
While they doused the blaze, their colleagues were giving Parliament a hosing down. Their decision to pour water on this house has sparked a police investigation and a threat of charges. The city was then brought to a very noisy halt. Bumper to bumper with an unusual type of congestion. 80 trucks, their sirens blaring in anger. MPs could hear the noise inside Parliament and rushed out. It's the first firefighters' strike in 56 years. Across town, more than 250 stations shut, like this one at Mortdale. They all met in the city outside Parliament, determined to show their anger with Barry O'Farrell's changes to work cover. Adding to their fury, news that other emergency workers would be exempt from the new compensation laws.
They're prepared to exempt 70,000 volunteer firefighters, 30,000 police. Our jobs are just as dangerous and there's only 7,000 of us. This is not a big ask.
These are women who every day go to work and put their lives on the line. They run into burning buildings when the rest of us are running out.
Earlier, Reverend Fred Nile, a possible peacemaker, received a rockstar reception. He promised he was on their side.
We've been working very hard on your side to get the government to see reason to some of the issues that concern you.
But inside there was still plenty of heat.
That is one of the most irresponsible actions I've ever heard of from a public sector union.
Don't you act tough, mate. You're the one who's...
And we're live to Lee Jelisek at State Parliament, where the laws are still being debated tonight. Lee, do the firefighters stand any chance of getting their entitlements back?
No, Chris, today's strike failed to get the firefighters the entitlements they were looking for. There were some late changes from the Reverend Fred Nile, but the union says they still fail to give firefighters the same entitlements given to police and volunteer firefighters. So this dispute looks far from over, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do see more industrial action, Chris.
All right, thanks, Lee. We'll go live now to Chris Marr at Mascot Fire Station. Chris, are firefighters back there yet?
Yes, Chris, the lights came on here at Mascot Fire Station about half an hour ago as crews began arriving back, preparing for the night shift. Now, that's happening at fire stations right across Sydney right now after the stations closed at 1 p.m, allowing firefighters to walk off the job. Now, some of the stations have been manned by Rural Fire Service volunteers ready to respond to any emergencies if required, whilst the professionally trained firefighters were striking. But the good news for people right across Sydney tonight, and what will be a very cold night, is that metropolitan fire stations are back in full operation. Chris?
All right, thanks, Chris. Chris Marr joining us live from Mascot. Police have given the all clear in Sydney South after a dramatic siege at a Bexley